welcome, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Boys and girls, children of all the ages of 18 and up, Roberto Negro, all right. You know, it's funny. I was getting ready to come on, and I'm, watching the what's it called? Like, where all the posts go. And, man, you know how many people must just be like, I get it. I mean, aside from just my wonderful fucking charm, I like the tap out on some of our friends in the deathmatch groups, because I noticed that they post all of our show links in all the deathmatch groups. So the people that tap out because they hate to see XPW also have to see the XPW Rob Black show link, and you know they click on it. They click on it. Like, they can't help but click on it. You know, they're like, I want to see if he's gonna talk about me tonight, good or bad. They so it's like a drug. It's like drug. It's sex or Swedish goldfish, if you will. Here they are. They're in those. You know, they're posting whatever fucking goofy show they got going on or whatever. I don't know. Their awesome show. How's that? Instead of saying goofy, their awesome show. They're tweeting about their awesome show from the same fucking venue that 38,000 other fucking people run at. And then here comes the Rob Black show link, and they're like, "What am I gonna do? Am I gonna click it? Am I gonna do it? Do I click it? No, I'm not gonna do it. No, okay. What if I do? Okay, I'm gonna click it." And I'm going to listen to it for 5 minutes. That's all I'm going to listen to. But if he gets nasty, and then I'm going to... okay, 5 minutes. Here we go. All right, here I go. I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to do it. And then there I am. Oh, they're like, fucker. And then they click off. They're like, fuck him. How could he say that? What an asshole. Fuck him. Fucker. And then you know what happens. Like 20 minutes later, they're like, let me go back on. Let me see what he's saying. You know, so I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I probably would hate me. I'd be like, fuck me. Oh, but it's fucking hilarious. It's just beyond hilarious at just how angry this subculture of the wrestling business is. And it really is. You know, I watched the Royal Rumble. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I watched the Royal Rumble. I try to watch all the pay-per-views, all the premium pay-per-views. WWE's still my jam, okay? End of story. It's still my jam. I still like watching WWE. I miss WCW and WWE. I miss that era. I try to watch AEW. I'm not a big fan of it. But I'd be lying if I was like, I don't. I try. Listen, I've said it on this show before. You're a lying sack of shit if you are in the wrestling business, but you don't watch the product. You're a lying sack of shit. And I don't give a fuck if you're just some, deathmatch mud show out in fucking Mississippi with XPW Superstar Hardcore Hillbilly as your champion. You're a fucking retard if you're not watching wrestling. Now, I'm not saying you're a fucking, oh man, you should. I'm not saying you watch every single one. But those people are like, oh, I haven't watched WWE in over 5 years. Get the fuck out of here. And you're a promoter? Really? You're a fucking wrestling promoter. You're supposed to, have your thumb on the pulse of what's going on in the business. And you haven't watched the biggest fucking wrestling company in the business in over 5 years. You're lying. Just that alone, you can't trust the motherfucker. So, I watched the Rumble. I watched part of it. And I'm going somewhere with this. Relax. I'm not doing the let's give a breakdown of the Rumble bullshit. I'm just talking about this sliver of wrestling audience versus a completely different audience and a completely different wrestling fan. And the Mins chimed in with something very interesting. Now, I don't exactly remember word for word exactly what he said, but that being something in line of 50,000 or 55,000 sellout, record revenue, WrestleMania sold out, not announcing a single match, all the pros of the Royal Rumble going into WrestleMania. But one of the things that I noticed, which is absolutely astonishing, is that you have 50,000 people going nuts for Sheamus to give forearm smashes to The Miz while he's draped on the top rope outside of the ring. He's giving them forearm smashes, and the fucking crowd is losing their minds. Ooh! Ah! Ooh! Forearm smashes! Fucking forearm smashes! Imagine. Goddamn forearm smashes. And you got 50,000 people popping like we get 200 people to watch a motherfucker almost die going through sheets of glass, light tubes, and every other fucking weapon contraption known to man. Wild, man. Wild. You know? These girls are in there. These girls are in there. This fucking crowd is going unhinged. Unhinged. And it just kind of shows you how different you have the wrestling audience. I marvel at it. I do. I fucking marvel at it. I marvel at those shows and the crowd being hot and just excited and just, yeah, fucking body slam. And they're like, yeah! It's fucking great, man. I mean, that's great. And then we wonder why workers, the boys and girls that are in that world, look at the whole deathmatch scene with kind of like a little, like, And I'm not saying WWE didn't do that. I'm not saying the Attitude Era, our 90s era, they didn't have things where Cena's bleeding gallons of blood. But again, remember, things were built to that. Things were built to that blow-off match where rather Eddie Guerrero or Cena is just gushing blood. Or Cactus Jack, Mankind, whatever he goes by. Things were done methodically. Things were put in certain places. Matches were done. Wrestlers were protected. Spots, finishes. Things were always done in a certain way to make things seem more special. Again, going with this theme, like I told you guys before, I'm not a over-the-top troll, but, I chime in here and there, or I'll see things here and there, and I saw this thread going off of Ricochet Page. And Ricochet Page talking about deathmatch wrestling and how he hates 90% of deathmatch wrestling because now death matches are on every show, on every match, and everybody's doing them. And it's a way, let's face it, it's a way, and this is what something nobody talks about, but it's a way for the world's shittiest fucking workers to get over. People that would never be able to get over in 100 zillion gabillion years. But because of deathmatch wrestling, they are now over. And in some cases, they're fucking stars. In some cases, they're fucking stars. They would never be stars. Ever. If it wasn't for deathmatch wrestling. And don't give me there's an art to... No, stop. There's an art to deathmatch wrestling that involves spots. There's an art to deathmatch wrestling that involves two people that can actually work. And the weapons are there to enhance the match. So this little debate went on between Ricochet and a bunch of fans. The great Chad Mins, and then Joey Janela chimed in. And Janela, and I always laugh because sometimes, whether it's Janela or, I don't know, somebody discussing the great new concept of ultra-violent underground, sometimes they sound like Rob Black. It sounds like a segment from the Rob Black Show. Now, rather, all of these great minds think alike, or people listen to the Rob Black Show and go, yes, exactly. And then they echo what is heard, and then they pontificate. But if you read Joey Janela's comments, they're exactly, practically word for word, what I said probably 2 months ago. And everybody in the deathmatch community lost their minds. Rob Black said he's going to phase out death matches. Rob Black said they're only going to do one death match per show. Rob Black said, Rob Black. And there's Schlack and Mins going, Rob didn't say that. We're still going to fucking kill each other with light tubes. Shut the fuck up. We're still going to do that. But there's Janela echoing what I've said before. If you got 8 matches, and every single fucking match has people bleeding to death, and going through plate glass windows, and gusset plates, and every other fucking death contraption, you're desensitizing the fans, obviously. You're desensitizing them to the point where it's like watching a toe hold. Or it's like watching a fucking sleeper hold. And here's the fucking WWE. 50,000 people. And they're popping for a fucking forearm smash. And I'm not talking the forearm smash, that bullshit, you know, with the I'm talking about where the guy lays on the top rope and Sheamus comes from behind him and slams his fucking forearm into the guy's chest. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just night and day. It's wild, man. It's wild. Wild shit. But again, this is where we are. This is what we all do. And I think every couple weeks there's a new deathmatch company forming in New Jersey. And that deathmatch company will hire the same 6 to 8 drools that are on every fucking deathmatch show. And they will do it in the exact same building that 6 or 7 other fucking companies run in. And there is absolutely nothing different, nothing original. And sometimes I just shake my head and go, what the fuck? What the fuck? And especially after a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or anything where you're just like, what? What the fuck are these people getting excited about? What? What is going on? Wild shit. Wild shit. Now, I do want to go on record right now and say I don't own Ultra Violent Underground. I just I just want to go on record and say I don't own Ultraviolent Underground, and I will not be working for Ultraviolent Underground. I gotta tell you, have you ever seen a more dysfunctional, more just bizarre rollout in all of pro wrestling history? The Min said he doesn't think they announced the venue as they were supposed to announce it tonight. They didn't announce the venue. What is going on? Why have they not announced the venue? I know. I feel, I don't know. Mins goes, pay me $400 and I'm not telling you where the venue is. Now, you guys want me to give you my theory on this? You want me to give you my theory? I'll give you my theory. But I want to take a break to have a little of my soda real quick. But I'll give you my theory, if you care. Gorgeous Eric Hernandez said, sure. Very nonchalant. Sure. Sure, Rob. Give us your theory. Sure. All right. We're going to take a 30-second break. And then I'll give you my theory. I don't know if my theory will pan out. But I think it's as strong as any. I think it's as strong as any. So, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I'll give you my theory. A little theory. Not a lot. And I'll tell you guys what I was doing last night. Which, man, you want to talk about Mark stuff. What I was doing last night was Mark stuff times 10. That's all I can say. Mark stuff times 10. I'll be right back.
Gifts. From pop culture gifts to adult fun. T-shirts, mugs, socks, fun, topical gifts for all ages. Then there's mature fun. Massage lotions, naughty games, toys, and lingerie. Extreme Gifts specializes in Delta 8 CBD, cartridges, edibles, vaporizers, and vaping liquids. The selection of glass products is amazing. From kratom, kava, flower, and so much more. Extreme Gifts. 1694 Penfield Road, next to the original Steve's Diner.
All right, we're back. It is Roberto Negro. Now, Cindy Williams is dead. Start throwing it out there. Laverne Shirley. Cindy Williams is dead. Fucking Cindy Williams. Poor Cindy Williams. All right, so and I'll lead in with the Mark shit, and then I'll go into UVW or UOVW or UECW, whatever the fuck it is. So I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little and give you my sleeping routine. And it doesn't involve masturbating. Sometimes it does involve sex. It does. Sometimes it does. I'm being honest. Sometimes it does. Not with myself, but with Catherine Martini. Sometimes. So, kids go to bed. If we're lucky, they stay asleep. And that's it's like a 60-40 that they're not going to stay asleep. It really is that bad. Brock wakes up every fucking night. Sometimes he wakes up at midnight. Sometimes he wakes up at 2. Sometimes he wakes up at 10. Sometimes he'll go right back to sleep. Sometimes he won't. And the fucker's 3 years and a couple months. Major refuses to stay in his room. So he starts in his room, sleeps in his room, but then wakes up and then ventures off into either Brock's bedroom or our bedroom. If we're in our bedroom, he'll come into our bedroom. If we're not up in our room, he ventures off into Brock's room. So, that is the evening with the children. Now, if we get lucky and we're able to eat dinner, watch a little TV, and go to bed without the kids roaming around, she'll go up first, wash makeup off her face, I don't know, maybe take a shit. Who the fuck knows? Girl shit. All right? And then I'll come up once she's done. And that normally makes me about 30 minutes behind. Now, what I like to do in between that time, depending on if it's really late and I put on the news, a news program, maybe I put on a little Tucker Carlson, or sometimes I put on Tubi and I look for a good documentary. Normally, a documentary that involves Hitler. or something Hitler-like. Not that I am a fan of Hitler. I'm just a World War II buff. You know, those guys. Excuse me, sir. Why do you have all this swastika stuff here? Oh, yeah. Oh, and you got, you got some Third Reich. What is all this Nazi stuff? Sir, do you like Nazis? Are you a Nazi? No, of course not. I am a World War II buff. That's what I am. I enjoy World War II history, so I like to collect things from it. Oh, okay. Yeah, would you like to see my World War II collection? Here is a piece of Hitler's hair in a locket that you can wear around your neck. Oh, that's nice. This is a piece of a lampshade made from authentic Jewish skin. Yes. Oh, and you're not a... No, I'm not a Nazi lover. I'm just a follower of World War II. Excuse me, sir. Why do you have Klan hoods here? Are you a white supremacist? No, of course not. I'm a segregationist buff, okay? I like to collect relics from the era of segregation. Yeah, that's what I like. Oh, this is an authentic Ku Klux Klan outfit. Yes! 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 I'm a Klan. I'm a segregationist enthusiast. So, I like to watch Tubi. Actually, my new jam on Tubi is these bodybuilder videos. Not because I like watching half-naked men glistening with baby oil. But are these bodybuilder videos where it's all about these guys that take steroids and all sorts of fucking drugs to get as big as they possibly can, and then they die. They fucking die. It's wild shit. I watched this one video. God, I wish I knew what the fuck it was called. It is part 1 and part 2. And they did a part 2 because the guy felt that part 1 made him seem like a monster. But it was this guy that claimed he was a doctor of health. But he was coming up with all these weird steroid concoctions. And he would have these people that would volunteer, and they would live in his house, and he would inject them with all sorts of weird shit to see if they can gain muscle mass, and just weird, man. Weird shit. Man, there's a lot of those fucking videos on Tubi. A lot of weird documentaries like that, but then there is a lot that are horrible. Horrible. Remember that wrestler Adrian Street? The exotic one, Adrian Street? They have a documentary about him, and it's just dog shit. Within 15 minutes, I was like, dog shit. Then they got 365, wrestlers on the road. 10 minutes up, dog shit. Then there was one about Jersey indie wrestling. Dog shit. This is dog shit. But I got to a Jacob Maxwell Freeman. Or Maxwell Freeman. MJK, whatever his fucking name is. And it was a video compiled of a whole bunch of matches. And him cutting promos. I was like, let me see this. Who produced this? So I'm looking, it says produced by DJ Hyde. And I'm like, And the first thing that pops up is him wrestling some jobber-looking guy at the 2300 Arena. And all of a sudden, this metal music hits, and here comes Schlack and another guy. And they beat the hell out of the guy while MJF runs out of the ring. And then Schlack and this other guy leave. And then MJF comes in and covers the guy. And I was like, wow. Okay. That was interesting. And then the next match was MJF wrestling Joey Janela. And I'm like, And there's Penelope, whatever her name is, the Penelope girl in AEW. And MJF has Maria Manic. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then that match is over. And there's a match with MJF and Alex Colon. I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at the ring announcer, and it's that kid, Emil, that you see hyping up the crowd at all the GCW shows. And then there's another match, and it's Ricochet Pain. Ricochet Pain. Against MJF. And then I went, am I watching fucking GCW? Or am I watching fucking CZW? Why is every single fucking wrestler, referee, ring announcer, all the people that I'm staring at in fucking GCW? What the fuck am I watching? And I hit Mins and I hit Schlack. I go, dude. And I sent Schlack that video. And Schlack's like, yeah. Brett took all the good guys from GCW, bought Jersey Pro Wrestling, whatever the fuck it is, named GCW. I go, dude, right down to the ring announcer he took. So it's like, yeah, everybody, anybody good left CZW and went to I go, wow, like nothing from scratch. Just changed the name and just grabbed all the guys from CZW and then said, we're GCW now. We're better because DJ's a jerk off. Come and watch us. And it wasn't like there was 5 people in the audience at that 2300 arena. Fucking thing looked good. I mean, it's from the fucking old XPW arena. But it wasn't like they were in a fucking barn somewhere with 5 people. There's a couple hundred people there. And there's multiple shows because it's a comp. So it's multiple shows. So obviously they had multiple shows where there was a few hundred people in attendance with a whole bunch. No, not even a whole bunch. All GCW wrestlers. And I never knew this history. You guys got to remember something. When all these kids got in, rather it was DJ who made his first appearance in 2004, or the father, Matt Treadmont, in 2007, 2008. I was on my way to prison. Government started in 2003 coming at me. So 96, 97, XPW to 2003. So I never knew this kind of lore of GCW and the fact that every single one of those wrestlers were CZW. Fucking wild, man. So, that interesting factoid, I never knew. And nobody smartened me up on it. But every so I get a little info here and there. And I go, oh, I see. But I still think sometimes the info I get is people that are also getting worked. Like, they still believe in some of the work. Which then brings us to the ultra violent underground. Now, here's my theory. Okay? When you hear people say Michael Pankos owns Ultraviolent Underground, let me start by explaining who Michael Pankos is. Michael Pankos runs the sound, the lights, and the cameras for the 2300 arena. He's been there with the owner, and it's been the same owner, Roger, since the ECW days. That's who I had my lease with. Roger, the owner. All the way to now, when I've discussed doing dates at the 2300 Arena, it's Roger and Pankos. When we painted the entire arena black, which looked great on film. Look at all those ECW shows, or GCW shows. I'm not talking about now, when they remodeled. But Pankos runs that entire arena for Roger. So when you see an MLW show, when you see an Impact show, when you see a Rob Feinstein show, Pankos puts that all together. Now, Pankos, all the years that I've known him, never came off like the business type. Now, I just seen him a few months ago when I was there with Kleinrock for his Masked Republic show. 2-day extravaganza. And me and Pankos talked and hung out. And again, I will say this, and it's not derogatory, it's not shitty, it's nothing like that. Pankos does not strike me as the person that is going to do insurance, open up bank accounts, deal with athletic commissions, deal with talent. Because don't forget, no matter how much you insulate yourself with people around you, there's always people that want to talk to the owner. There's always people that want to talk to the person that writes the fucking checks. No matter how many buffers you have, there's always somebody that goes, you're just the travel person, you're just the production guy, and you're just the middleman between the ultimate boss. I want to talk to him. Fuck you. Let me talk to him. And Pankos, again, it's not talking shit, is not that guy. He's not that guy. Chris Eagley says you could stay hidden if you have enough money. No, you can't. Trust me, bro. Trust me. It always comes out. And it can come out based on, oh, well, they're a limited partner. Okay, but they're involved. because nobody hands the keys to the kingdom without a paper trail at some point that guarantees that that person gets the keys to the kingdom back. Give you a quick story. One of the most powerful men in the history of the adult entertainment industry, a man by the name of Reuben Sturman. Probably the closest to a billionaire that you will ever see. And I'm talking about the pornography business, not no fucking Playboy magazine. I'm talking pornography. Talking 3, 4, 5, 600 stores back in the 70s, 80s, 60s. Jack booths, glory holes, strip clubs. Made the Mitchell brothers look like fucking drools. When this guy got busted, when this guy did time, he had to make deals with the government that he would no longer be in the business. So he had to sell off all of his entities. But who the fuck wants to do that? Who the fuck wants to give up the keys to the kingdom? So deals were made. And people that had been with him for 15, 20, 30 years got keys to those castles. So I'm going to sell this $300 million distribution center in the Midwest to this person, XYZ, who's been with me for X amount of years. And so we broke up the company like that. And guess what happened after about 6 months? When he would call to see how everything was going, the person he was supposed to talk to, all of a sudden, wasn't there. They were too busy to take the call. And that started with all of these different entities. To the point where after a year, it was Reuben who? Hey, motherfucker, I got the keys to the castle. We have no agreement. Who are you? I don't even know who the fuck you are. There's no paper trail. There's no corporate paperwork. There's no shell companies. There's nothing. Matter of fact, I don't even know who the fuck you are. He's some crazy old man. Just came to my office here in Denver, Colorado. Get the fuck out of here. So, ultimately, whether it's the mob still having a little piece of the Tangiers, there's always, especially in 2023, a paper trail. And let's not forget, We're dealing with pro wrestling. We're dealing with the dumbest motherfuckers in the entire entertainment business. These motherfuckers would look down on me in the porn industry. And these motherfuckers are fucking skeevier, fucking dirtier, and dumber. Than any of us in the adult biz. Remember, this is an industry that has Rob Feinstein still operating, but either everybody pretends he really doesn't own everything that he owns and it's Timothy Embler, or they really are that fucking stupid and believe that that kid owns Battleground and the convention. Same people that actually believe that Matt Tremont paid Onita to come here for that exploding ring match. That it wasn't a partnership with Rob Feinstein, even though the fucking guy was at the fucking show with Onita. So people are either that fucking stupid or they just turn a blind eye. Which leads me to the speculation that Ultraviolet Underground is owned, and this is just my speculation, by Rob Feinstein. Solely speculation. But it makes sense. Because you have Pankos, who's been at the 2300 Arena, Teddy Flood. Teddy Flood says, interesting theory since Zandig openly bashes Rob Feinstein a lot. And Teddy Flood, the entire wrestling industry bashes Rob Feinstein, but they all do business with him. The entire wrestling industry does business with Rob Feinstein. Again, I bring up Matt Tremont and Onita. Rob Feinstein brought Onita in. That is a fucking fact. Matt Tremont used to sell his little fucking collectible bullshit at Feinstein's place. That's very conveniently dismissed. So the theory, and it's just a working theory, because a lot of people have bailed out. DJ bailed out. Kings Road, Michael over there, bailed out. Shannon. Not that Shannon is, the be-all, end-all. But still. Why do you have a mass exodus involving 3 people that were so heavily involved from beginning? And listen, DJ was heavily involved in the beginning. I talked to him about that. I had about a half-hour conversation with DJ 3 months ago. We had talked about using CZW Studios for something that I had in mind. I'm not talking out my ass. It was a 3-way. Not a sexual 3-way, but a 3-way call between me, Shannon, and DJ. And then Shannon left the conversation, then it was just me and DJ. So, what happened? And there was no Danzig then. Danzig was furthest from the conversation. And remember, the kings of the Road King guy, Michael, whatever his IG site is, he actually did commentating for that deathmatch tournament that CZW did out in the farm there, DJ's parents' farm. So obviously, something happened. Now, my theory could be bullshit. But I find there's a lot of similarities. Hell, I think Zandig even made a post where he talked about the inner workings being over his pay grade. He commented about things going on that were above Shannon's pay grade. And then he said, it's also above his pay grade. So now, Feinstein is already juiced in at the 2300 Arena, and he has Pancos there. Every other month, they're running conventions, and they're running these super shows. And we all saw the last show. It wasn't like they only drew 50 people. So they already have that going. You bring the name talent in, give them a booth, you work the deal for them to wrestle the next day or that night. If you can get it all included, you're basically running a show for free. It's a good business move. And right now it's on autopilot. And you see, every week, there's somebody new in the deathmatch game. Every week. Whether it's a performer's boyfriend, or some mid-level deathmatch guy that gets somebody to give them $2,000, and now they're going to start a deathmatch company. And if you're sitting there with a production truck and cameras and the ability to make something look better than 80%, than the other deathmatch shit that's going on, how do you not think that Feinstein doesn't jump in? Why not? Why not? And if he's sitting there going, I can get these deathmatch guys. I know they work for $100. Hell, in some cases they got to be working for $50. Some cases they got to be getting paid nothing at all. Listen, when you have a 10-card show, and the admission is $10 to get in or $20 to get in, and on your best fucking day, you have 100 people there. But maybe 50. Like, and you're bringing in what? $800, $900? And you got 10 matches. You got 20 wrestlers, 22 wrestlers. Do the fucking math. Do the fucking math. Come on, man. Why wouldn't he? And if you can get Danzig on board, you give the project a little credibility. Just a theory. Just a theory. I'm probably wrong. It's Rob Black. It's a Rob Black show.
Extreme Gifts. From pop culture gifts to adult fun. T-shirts, mugs, socks, fun topical gifts for all ages. Then there's mature fun. Massage lotions, naughty games, toys, and lingerie. Extreme Gifts specializes in Delta 8 CBD, cartridges, edibles, vaporizers, and vaping liquids. The selection of glass products is amazing. From kratom, kava, flower, and so much more. Extreme Gifts. 1694 Penfield Road, next to the original Steve's Diner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, side note, Chris Eagley, listen to me. Where the fuck have you been? When you have a national renowned superstar promoter who lives in his building that's talking about money to feed his animals, how much you think these fucking wrestlers are getting paid, bro? Come on, man. Do the fucking math. How much you think these motherfuckers are getting paid? If the promoter is fucking looking for money to feed his pets, how much you think the boys are getting paid? Are you out of your fucking mind? I mean, come on, man. It's like it's come on. The people get so naive, I feel, in this realm because they've been, fucking bamboozled. It's almost, you know what it's almost like. You know what it is in this world. It's almost like everybody is. It's almost like getting molested by the creepy uncle. And nobody wants to tell mom and dad that their creepy brother molests them. So it's kind of like, well, we're just not going to say anything. We're going to pretend the molestation doesn't happen. So if you just fucking look at the scene and look at the big shows and look at the companies and look at what's going on, well, what the fuck you think? Motherfuckers are making, 100, 200 a show, 300 a show, 500 a show. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I love Kat Martini. She said, I thought we were going to talk about something good. Well, listen. This is a variety show. This is the Rob Black variety show. And we talk about various things. The Ultraviolet Underground was a hot topic today. We talked about it. Some days, William Knox is a hot topic. And when he's going to wear the wig on his head. Sometimes the hillbilly's a hot topic. And we talked to the hillbilly and wasted fucking a half hour with that fat motherfucker Friday. We talk politics. I almost was going to talk politics tonight. I almost felt compelled to talk a little politics. I'm not going to right now. Maybe tomorrow we'll get back. And it's not even really politics. It's more of like a social commentary. Here, I'll throw it at you. I'll throw this at you as something we can think on. I'm watching the playoff games this weekend. And they're doing the national anthem with a military man. The guy singing it. And they got the flags on the field. And, I mean, it's very, very, very patriotic. Fucking planes flying overhead. There's players out there, tears running down their face. Not a fucking person kneeling, talking during the national. I mean, you would have thought 5 years ago, never happened. Like, that was a blip on our radar. Because we never lived in an era where we just shit on the military. Like, we never lived in an era like that. Listen, put aside, well, we don't give them, adequate housing when they come back. Put that aside. And that's, a debate for another day. We never went, hey, if you have an American flag in front of your house, you're a fucking racist. You're a goddamn racist, you piece of shit. We never did that. Never even thought that. Like, nobody ever thought the American flag meant you're a racist. And even the notion of, well, X amount of years ago, America had slaves. Yeah, I know, it's horrible. Okay. Like, we never carried on the concept that our founding fathers had slaves, and, we as a nation evolved into where we are. Not a perfect nation, but a lot better than we were hundreds of fucking years ago. But that somehow, that somehow was the norm 5 years ago. That was the norm. That. So, seeing the flyover and seeing the national anthem and seeing people like they were 8 years ago. Remember when Whitney Houston sung the goddamn national anthem? Remember how, fucking... Remember that? Remember, was it the Olympics? She had the American flag jacket on. Motherfucking rendition brought tears to people's eyes. Muhammad Ali lighting a fucking torch. The Olympics. We went from that to fuck America. America sucks. America's shit. It's garbage. And now we're back to, alright, America's cool again. Fucking bizarre, man. And that's what I kind of took away from it. Again, it's kind of like watching Royal Rumble going, man, look at all these people popping for, a forearm smash. Same type of thing. Watching the festivities before the game and just going, wow. I remember only a couple years ago that if we did something like this in a sporting event, we were racist and we are pieces of dog shit. Amazing. Well, it's only been a couple fucking years. Amazing. The lengths that the left went to get rid of a president and the ideology of that party at the time. It's fucking wild, man. I mean, you want to talk about burning everything down? You're like, seriously, you want to I had wild shit, man. Fucking wild shit. It's like, we don't give a fuck what is what consequences, forget about it. This is what we have to do for this political outcome. And there were people that are like, I don't know, man, this isn't real good. Doesn't matter. The ends justify the means. We will come back. Don't worry. America's resilient. And before you know it, this kind of era will be a thing of the past. And we'll all kind of joke and go, hey, remember that whole cancel, woke, America's dog shit era? Yeah. Isn't it funny that we did that? It's as funny as Beanie Babies and Cabbage Patch Dolls and doing the Macarena. Yeah, okay. And that was striking. So, I'll leave you with that, my friends. I'll leave you with that. Bro, remember, there was a time when the country canceled the Dixie Chicks because they said George Bush wasn't their president. Their career was destroyed because they said George Bush, they were ashamed that George Bush was their president. Fucking wild, man. Fucking wild. So, there's my two takeaways in the political realm. It's Rob Black's Show. You guys are the best. As always, I love you. And we are fast approaching Pleasures of the Flesh. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you guys something. The XPW streaming service will hopefully be ready to announce on Wednesday. And I will have an offer for fans of the XPW Wrestling membership site, because there's some of you who are fucking members, and I need to get you to be members of the new site. So I need you to go from the old site to the new site, and I'm going to have a special offer for you guys, because those of you who have been with us from day one deserve something special. So, hopefully Wednesday, the 1st, that will be ready, and you'll be able to join it, and old members will also be able to join it, and they'll get a little bonus between that. So, anyways, you guys are the best. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.